A 35-10 score now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 6. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He will score. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Joseph connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Offense.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Fields. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability.
Fields hit and the ball is loose. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
I'd sure love to offer some advice to the defensive coordinator, but his guys are just getting run over by an offense that's executing like a well-oiled machine.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And some room to work. And he takes this all the way down to the Bears' 9. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Second and goal from inside the 5. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. A good run that time. They couldn't close him down, and now 9 yards makes for a very different situation on 4th and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. They're still going to go for it on 4th and goal even after the penalty. No sign of the field goal team. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So this, not a stat line that you'd expect to see. 2 touchdowns for him now in the ball game, both coming on the ground.
And while it may be unusual, it's obvious they found something that they like on offense and they can use against the defense. And I think they'll continue to go to it until they stop them.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Fields. Steps away to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And by rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure, because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. And the Vikings come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter.